Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. See ya. Wake up and rise, open your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental Wellness Monday, work it out Wednesday, pay it forward Friday. We're seizing the day. Digital finance, unlearning of love, serving food for what goes to rising as the beat and it's Eastern on P2GTV. Breakfast with the Thomases, come eat with me.
Hey.
Grand Rising, what's going on? Okay, she right. She all jiggy this morning. Okay, let's get it.
I'm jiggy every morning. Cut it out.
All right. Like I said, Grand Rising, y'all. Welcome.
Grand Rising.
Welcome to another Mental Wellness Monday. I am your host, Alvin Thomas, the Gold Banker, coming to you live 1 gram at a time.
Okay.
I am here
Okay.
with my partner in crime.
It's your girl, El Ruby T now. I don't have all that snazziness that Mr. Thomas says, but you know I'm El Ruby T. I'm your girl. I'm doing it. We're doing our thing today. We're coming to you to give you some, not just some hope, but some life. Okay. Yep. I want you guys to realize something about life itself. It's big and wide and all made for you. Got it? I hope you get that. So we come to you every morning, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with a gram of love and big old hugs and kisses. Because, baby, life gets hard when you think you're alone. You're not. You're here with us, and we look forward to making it a grand place to be. So come and join us. We've got a beautiful message today from awesome folks and people who are in the, literally are in the, I guess, building people business. Mr. Thomas has chosen an amazing video. Welcome, everyone on all platforms. We thank you, and we look forward to seeing you, hearing from you, and what you think.
Yes, special thanks to Mine Aura and Jim Rohn for the message today.
Oh, wow.
And I want you guys just really take a minute and hear what's being said. Mm-hmm. And remember, the largest person in your corner is always going to be you. So take the time to put you on Front Street and actually take a look at what's available for you if you decide this is what you want for you.
Yes, exactly.
And that's all I got.
That's right. All right, well, Mr. Thomas.
Well, let's get in.
What to say? With goodies, with it. Grand Rising. Hey, Miss Kim, we see you, sis. Just play. It's fine. Just that.
Nobody notices how you spend your evenings. The lamp is on. The room is quiet. Most people are resting. You're reading. You're taking notes. You're studying something that may not pay you this week, but will change who you are next year. Growth rarely makes noise. There's no applause for preparation. No spotlight for discipline. Just you. A desk and a decision. Every day you either sharpen your mind or you let it dull. 5 years from now, people will look at your life and call it progress. They won't see the nights you chose learning over comfort. They won't see the steady improvement. They'll only see the result. But you'll know, because improvement is not an event, it's a daily appointment. The question is simple. When the day ends, did you grow or did you just pass time? Let me ask you something. When was the last time you sat alone with a book, a notebook, or even a single powerful idea and let it reshape the way you think? Not for entertainment, not to escape, but to improve, to expand, to become sharper than you were yesterday. There is something almost sacred about quiet study. No one is cheering. No one is measuring. No one is impressed. And that's precisely why it matters. Because what you do when no one is watching is what builds the person everyone will notice later. Education is not confined to classrooms. It is not limited to degrees framed on walls. Real education is self-directed. It is chosen. It is intentional. It is the decision to refuse mental stagnation. And that decision, made consistently, quietly compounds. A single page a day becomes a library over time. A single concept understood deeply becomes a tool you carry for life. A single new skill practiced daily becomes leverage in ways you cannot yet imagine. The world does not reward effort immediately. It rewards value, and value is born from knowledge applied with discipline. If you improve your thinking, you improve your decisions. Improve your decisions, and you improve your direction. Improve your direction, and eventually, you improve your destiny. There are two kinds of evenings. One drifts away unnoticed. The other builds the future quietly. Both feel the same in the moment. Both pass in a few hours, but one compounds, and the other disappears. The lamp, the desk, the silence. They are not small things. They are the workshop of your future. And the person you are becoming is being shaped tonight. So the real question is not whether you are busy. It is not whether you are tired. It is not whether the day was difficult. Are you investing in the one asset that follows you everywhere, your mind? Because the habits you form in private determine the opportunities you meet in public, and one quiet hour each day can rewrite an entire life. Why self-education is more powerful than motivation? Motivation is a spark. Education is the fuel. A spark can excite you. It can move you. It can make you feel unstoppable for a moment. But without fuel, a spark dies quickly. And many people spend their lives chasing sparks. One speech, one book, one conversation that makes them feel alive again. They rise for a day and fade the next. Self-education is different. It does not rely on emotion. It builds structure. It builds understanding. It builds depth. Motivation says, I feel like doing something. Education says, I know why I must. When you understand why a skill matters, when you understand how money works, how communication works, how discipline works, you no longer depend on excitement to move. You act from awareness, and awareness is steadier than emotion. Emotion fluctuates. Understanding compounds. There will be mornings when you do not feel inspired, evenings when you are tired, days when nothing around you seems urgent. If you rely only on motivation, you will stop when the feeling fades. But if you are educating yourself daily, something stronger happens. Your standards rise, your thinking sharpens, your tolerance for mediocrity lowers. You begin to see differently. You read one idea about negotiation, and suddenly conversations change. You learn one principle about leadership, and suddenly responsibility feels different. You study financial discipline, and suddenly spending carries weight. Education adjusts perception, and when perception changes, behavior follows. Motivation can push you to start. Education equips you to continue. Confidence built on emotion is fragile. Confidence built on knowledge is steady. When you know what you're talking about, when you understand your craft, when you've studied your field, you don't need to shout. You don't need approval. You speak calmly because you stand on foundation. Self-education also removes fear. Fear often comes from uncertainty. The unknown feels threatening. But as you learn, as you study, as you expose yourself to new ideas, the unknown becomes familiar. Familiarity reduces hesitation, and reduced hesitation increases action. That is why daily learning is more powerful than occasional inspiration. One builds feeling, the other builds capacity. Capacity determines income. Capacity determines opportunity. Capacity determines how far you can go when the door finally opens. A motivated person may run fast for a short distance. An educated person can travel far, and over time, distance matters more than speed. So instead of asking, how can I stay motivated? Ask a better question. What must I understand so well that I no longer need motivation? That question changes everything. How to build a daily learning habit. Learning does not happen by accident. It happens by appointment. If you wait until you feel ready, you will postpone growth for years. If you wait for the perfect mood, the perfect timing, the perfect quiet, life will keep interrupting you. The secret is not intensity. It is consistency. Start small enough that you cannot make an excuse. 10 pages, 20 minutes, one focused idea. That is all it takes to begin building momentum. The mistake many make is trying to consume too much at once. They read half a book in a single night, feel proud, then abandon the habit for weeks. Growth is not a sprint. It is a rhythm. And rhythm comes from repetition. Choose a time. Guard it. Treat it as seriously as any professional commitment, because it is a commitment to your future. Evening works well for many. The day slows down. The mind can reflect. But the hour matters less than the discipline. Once you decide, remove negotiation. When the clock reaches that time, you sit down and study. Not because you are excited, not because someone is watching, but because you said you would. Another key, study with purpose. Do not read randomly. Read with a question in mind. What skill am I improving? What weakness am I correcting? What area of my life needs elevation? When learning becomes intentional, retention increases. You are not just consuming information, you are searching for solutions. Take notes, write thoughts in your own words. Reflection deepens understanding. Reading fills the mind. Writing organizes it. When you translate ideas into your language, they become yours. Review what you learn. A single lesson revisited 5 times is more valuable than 5 lessons read once. Repetition turns information into memory. Memory turns into instinct. Protect your environment as well. A clean desk, a quiet corner, a lamp, a notebook. Simple tools, but powerful signals. They tell your mind, this is the place where growth happens. Habits are built through identity. Instead of saying, I'm trying to learn more, say, I am someone who studies daily. That shift is subtle, but important. When learning becomes part of who you are, skipping it feels unnatural. There will be days when it feels ordinary. That's good. Ordinary means sustainable. And sustainable habits create extraordinary results over time. 1 hour daily is 365 hours a year. That is the equivalent of several university courses. Without tuition, without permission, without waiting. You do not need dramatic change. You need daily deposits, small deposits, made faithfully, compounded quietly. That is how a learning habit becomes a life advantage. Why personal growth increases income? Income rarely exceeds personal development for long. You can get lucky once. You can stumble into opportunity. You can even inherit a position. But if your knowledge, your discipline, and your skill do not match your earnings, something eventually gives way. Either the income drops, or the pressure rises until you are forced to grow. Money is not attracted to need, it is attracted to value, and value is built through personal growth. When you improve the way you think, you improve the way you decide. Better decisions lead to better results. Better results create greater responsibility. Greater responsibility brings greater reward. It is not magic, it is progression. Employers do not pay for effort alone. Clients do not pay for intention. Markets do not reward hope. They reward skill. They reward clarity. They reward solutions. If you can solve bigger problems, you can earn bigger income. Personal growth expands your ability to solve problems. When you study communication, you increase persuasion. When you study finance, you increase control. When you study leadership, you increase influence. Each improvement makes you more useful, and usefulness has economic value. Your income is often a reflection of the problems you are equipped to handle. Small skill, small compensation, expanded skill, expanded opportunity. And growth does something else. It increases confidence rooted in competence. When you know your field deeply, you negotiate differently. You present differently. You carry yourself differently. You no longer shrink in rooms where decisions are made. That posture alone changes outcomes. There is also this: growth creates options. A person who never studies remains dependent on one path. A person who develops skills multiplies paths. Options reduce fear. Reduced fear increases boldness, and boldness, when backed by knowledge, often leads to advancement. Think about it this way. If two individuals start at the same salary and one studies an extra hour a day for 5 years while the other does not, their trajectories will not remain equal. One will see opportunities the other cannot even recognize. Growth sharpens perception. Perception identifies opportunity. Opportunity increases income. It is gradual at first, almost invisible. Then one day it seems sudden. A promotion, a business idea, a raise, a breakthrough. Others call it luck. You call it preparation meeting timing. Income is not just about working harder. It is about becoming more capable. Work on your job and you earn a living. Work on yourself and you earn a future. The marketplace rewards those who invest in themselves long before the reward appears. So the question is not, how do I earn more? It is, who must I become to be worth more? Answer that honestly, and your income will eventually follow your growth. How successful people invest in knowledge. Successful people do not drift into growth. They fund it. They understand something simple but powerful. Knowledge is not an expense. It is an investment. And investments, when chosen wisely, produce returns long after the initial cost is forgotten. Look closely at anyone who has built something meaningful. You will find a pattern. Before the income increased, before the recognition arrived, there was a season of study. Books purchased instead of luxuries. Seminars attended instead of vacations. Time spent listening, observing, asking questions. They were not spending money. They were buying perspective. There is a difference. An expense disappears. An investment multiplies. When you purchase knowledge, you are not buying pages of paper or hours in a room. You are buying access to ideas refined over decades. You are purchasing shortcuts around mistakes you have not yet made. You are acquiring tools that reshape how you think. And successful individuals are deliberate about this. They choose material that stretches them. They seek mentors who challenge them. They surround themselves with information that elevates their standards. They do not ask, "Can I afford this book?" They ask, "Can I afford to remain unaware?" Notice something else. They revisit what they learn. They do not treat knowledge as entertainment. They treat it as equipment. They reread, they review, they apply. A single principle practiced consistently is worth more than dozens admired briefly. They also diversify their learning. Communication, finance, leadership, psychology, sales, not randomly, strategically. Each area strengthens the others. The result is a well-rounded mind capable of adapting to changing conditions. Another important point, successful people invest time with the same seriousness they invest money. Hours are allocated intentionally. Idle time becomes reading time. Travel becomes listening time. Even conversations are opportunities to learn. They ask questions. They listen carefully. They observe patterns because they understand that information alone does not create success. Understanding does. The return on knowledge often arrives indirectly. You may read something today that seems minor. Months later, in a crucial decision, that idea surfaces, guiding you away from loss or toward opportunity. The connection may not be obvious, but the influence is real. Knowledge compounds internally before it appears externally. The world sees achievement. They see the investment. If you want uncommon results, you must be willing to make uncommon investments, not only financially, but mentally. Growth requires feeding the mind regularly with substance, not noise. So begin to view books as assets. View courses as leverage. View thoughtful conversations as capital. Because the wealth you build inside your mind cannot be taken, taxed, or exhausted. And over time, it becomes the foundation for everything else you build. The mindset shift that turns information into transformation. Information alone changes nothing. You can fill shelves with books, you can underline every page, you can attend lectures and take careful notes, and still remain the same. The difference is not in what you know, it is in what you apply. Knowledge becomes powerful only when it moves from the page into your behavior. Reading about discipline does not build discipline. Practicing discipline does. Studying communication does not make you persuasive. Speaking with intention does. Learning about financial control does not build wealth. Controlling your spending does. The shift happens when you stop asking, "What else can I learn?" and begin asking, "What will I do differently starting today?" That question turns theory into action. Transformation requires ownership. When you hear a powerful idea, do not admire it. Adopt it, test it, adjust your habits around it. Give it room to reshape your routine, because habits, not information, determine direction. Apply one principle deeply before chasing the next one. Depth produces change. Constant switching produces distraction. If you read about goal setting, write goals. Review them daily. Adjust your schedule to align with them. Let the concept enter your calendar, not just your notebook. That is when information becomes leverage. Another part of this mindset shift is responsibility. When you learn something useful, you can no longer claim ignorance. You are now accountable for acting on it. Growth demands maturity, the willingness to say, "If I know better, I must do better." Transformation is not dramatic. It is disciplined. It is choosing to wake earlier after reading about productivity. It is choosing to speak calmly after studying emotional control. It is choosing to save consistently after learning financial wisdom. Small adjustments, repeated faithfully. Over time, these adjustments accumulate, and one day, you realize you think differently. You decide differently. You react differently. That is transformation. Not sudden, but steady. The person who merely consumes information stays entertained. The person who applies it becomes elevated. There is no shortage of knowledge available. The shortage is implementation. So, as you continue your daily education, carry this mindset. Every idea is a tool. Every lesson is a responsibility. Every page is an invitation to act. When you read, look for one principle you can live that day. When you listen, identify one behavior you can improve. When you study, decide one habit you will adjust. That is how information becomes transformation. That is how study becomes strength. That is how ordinary evenings build extraordinary lives. So, nobody applauds the hour you spend learning. No one congratulates the notes you take. No one sees the discipline of choosing study over comfort. But life sees it. Your income sees it. Your confidence sees it. Your future sees it. Every page read, every idea applied, every evening invested. They are shaping a version of you that does not depend on luck, noise, or motivation. Self-education is quiet. It is patient. It is deliberate. And that is why it is powerful. You don't rise because you were inspired once. You rise because you improved daily. A sharpened mind makes better decisions. Better decisions create better results. Better results change a life. So when the lamp is on and the room is quiet tonight, remember this. You are not just reading. You are building capacity. You are building value. You are building leverage. And one day, when others call it success, you will know what it really was. It was the daily appointment. It was the steady discipline. It was the decision to grow when no one was watching. Educate yourself daily, because the person you become is the greatest return you will ever earn.
Let's get back in there.
Oh, we're
Hold on.
back. We are
Get
back.
Okay.
I was going to say the same thing, Miss Kim. That was powerful. Oh my goodness. He's amazing. Jim Rohn has a lot. You guys should look on YouTube and look into Jim Rohn. It's not like John, but it's Rohn with an R. Okay.
Oh,
Absolutely need that in
not a problem. Guys, this is food for the mind. Really, the initial thought for this was everybody's going back to school this week. This week, next week, or
next week.
Or some people are
In
back
New York.
already.
In New York, a lot of kids are back. And it's in New York. Public schools are back on it next week.
And a lot of times, we go to school because not that we want to. It's okay. We got to go back. Summer's over. But what if you take it on you take it another way? You get to educate yourself in the building. above what they give you and actually take on your life as what you wanted to do and succeed at how you wanted to succeed, excuse me.
Okay.
You know,
What if I told you that the education that you get for free is minimal at best,
I bet.
and it's built in a way that does not motivate you to continue on your own for a reason? Grand Rising. Hi, Maisha. What if I told you that it's not a lack of educational money or funding that causes that education is consistently being siphoned first in budgets on purpose because it was never meant to give you independent thought.
Nope.
And the funders and creators of the education system that exists in America built it that way to
With
create a working class. But the very people who fund it understand clearly and deeply everything that Jim Rohn just shared, that we've been sharing about education and mostly self-education, the education that comes after the requirements.
Yep, absolutely.
The stuff that you go home with, what you do with your time. You were taught to chill after work, just like you were taught to that coming home from school, you now get to take a break. How did we get trained? We got trained with summer break. We got a whole summer off because our brains are so stressed out and we can only do but so much, right, guys? Yeah, that's what we were told. But the teachers still need those 2 months of income, don't they? They still need to work, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Because the reality of it all is the bills don't take a break. Why then don't we learn financial literacy, adequate financial literacy? I'm not going to act like they don't have that, but it's not adequate. It's a limit. It is never going to be no one's ever going to teach you how to become independent of them.
Not at all.
Myself, I just share this with you. I teach you how to be independent of me because you make me stronger. So I tell people right now, I'm not doing anything different than anybody else. It's just I have a different plug in that area. You are my investment in our education program. See, because we are building a community. I'm building partnerships. Why go look for partners when you can build one?
Absolutely.
Y'all get that? Why buy a car? It's like if I need to get somewhere, need some transportation, why buy a bike when you can build a bike and have it all the time? Why rent someone else's car when you could just make a car or get a car for yourself and go, right?
You know, one of the things that are really prevalent here, and he said it multiple times, you have to really make yourself.
He didn't say have to. Please don't use that word.
Okay.
He does not use it. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. My phone is
okay.
Do its own thing.
Structure your education, structure and system. Make it a habit. Make it a habit.
Sorry, tech is teching it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Make it a habit because you know it's like I'm listening and I'm like refilling notes in that that I had holes in my system. Oh yeah, I thought I did that. But no. And you really have to look at what you think you're doing as studying education and preparing yourself for what you say you want. You really have to comb through it.
How about this? Are we looking at the results of what we're getting? See, you just said something that was very powerful. Mr. Thomas said something. I thought. Well, what would make you think that? That's like me studying about financial literacy and not getting anywhere and wondering wait a minute. I know how to, but I never actually did any of it thinking that something's supposed to happen. Well, that's why we teach the way we teach. Everything we teach in our platform had to be actionable because I got stuck in classes. I paid for classes. They were paid for me. I went to different programs to teach me financial literacy. I did learn some good things to do with, getting my credit together, creating a system. Those things were amazing. But my question was, why am I not getting anywhere? if I'm saving money, right? If I'm paying the bills the way I should, why am I not getting anywhere? Why my account not getting anywhere? Because I put it where it said, right?
With the to-do list for it.
Oh no, I have a to-do list. I saved on time. I put it in the bank. I didn't touch it. I paid my bills. And it's weird because when I save money, I have more money. I didn't have, and it's weird. I always had money. Not that I had more money. I just somehow my finances started to come into place. My habit created more. It started affecting other things I did subconsciously.
Okay.
And I allowed for that. So my list was put money away. Every time I get some money, put it in my savings, shift it over. Then it was the second step was the whole thing. I wanted to impact credit. Anybody ever try to get credit or credit card and then they call you and tell you you can't get it and you go, well, how am I supposed to get in this whole credit game if y'all ain't gonna give me one? If ain't nobody gonna give me one, how am I supposed to get started in this credit game? How do people get a credit card?
Like that oxymoron.
So I was really, when you ask questions, you get answers. But if you're going to take a no, anybody take a L on something and walk away,
That's
you ain't playing. You have to ask questions. Question the people who tell you no. I have a nephew and a niece, and I swear I can never tell them no for no. They will not take a no for no.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know why. But can we? How about what if we? That's how they are 11.
Those are going to be our next negotiators or politicians. One of the two.
I remember when my daughter was that age. And she wouldn't, my daughter used to change the prices of my business. I did tech support. And my baby, when I was charging people $65, she said, no, mommy, $85. You know why she said $85? She was 12. And she said, no, $85, mommy. I said, $85. But baby, I charged $65. It's just she was like, no, $85. And I didn't think about it because she was thinking about her 20. My baby was smart enough to think you got me as a responsibility, so you need $20 more. When mommy didn't think that way, I didn't question the why this much. I didn't put in, but she did. Kids don't care.
Kids understand value.
They want to know.
In their mind,
you got to give them a good answer. Y'all got to give them a good reason for a no.
It's crazy.
How many people have to do that with you? I have been through, and actually, I'm actually helping some people break through some mental processes right now. I have a couple of folks that I'm training and coaching with in different areas. And it's so funny because we're not even doing the same thing, but I'm recognizing the same habit. We in this time are getting frustrated because we don't have any steady habits that keep us from frustration. He said something. That video, y'all get this one. Jim Rohn. Which one was it, baby? Which one was it?
Mind Aura.
Mind Aura.
So educate yourself.
Educate yourself.
Daily.
When it's easier to talk. Like he said, when you have a focus plan or so focus, anything. If you guys are focused on anything and you want to get to something, you've got to give it time and it has to be consistent.
Absolutely.
I wanted financial freedom. So I had to do something every day. I had to read books every day, not a bunch of different books, specific books to what I wanted. I knew I needed consistent habit. I knew I needed organization. I knew I needed to be accountable to myself. So I had to start reading books. Mm-hmm. I knew I didn't understand finance. I couldn't understand this system. Good gosh. I was like, how does anybody make it?
But what he said was important. He said, don't just arbitrarily read.
Right.
Read with a purpose. Read with a question in mind to get an answer. It's funny when we went to school, they had this whole period of, we want to teach you how to pass the test. So they taught you made you read the question before you read the paragraph.
And that was actually interesting because it had to be retaught to people.
Yeah.
Because they stopped teaching you to read the questions, to have a focus on what you were going to answer. Read all the questions first. Mm-hmm. So you would get the idea of what the test is about.
What they're looking to find.
Now let's take it away from school.
Yeah.
Let's go into your life. You all fill out forms and applications And you just fill them out line by line, what's needed.
Blindly.
You never look to see ahead, what all information am I giving? What's the purpose of this? What's the flow? You do that to the point to where we got trained to do it with contracts around money.
And you just sign it and keep going. Check boxes, keep going.
So let's talk about finding some peace, because this is Mental Wellness Monday.
Yes,
and I love this. I thank you for bringing that up, because I have never heard that. I've heard a lot of, I love listening to Jim Rohn. You can just listen to him all day. You know, I'm not kidding. Jim Rohn, well, oh my God. We have several focus. Oh my God.
Brown.
Oh my God. Come on. The idea is not to just fill your head with good feelings and good thoughts. It is to start getting the world of creating your own personal systems.
Mm-hmm.
Your life already falls into a system. I hope y'all get that. Our lives already fall into the current systems, but you know, we are not choosing them. We're just falling in. You're just going with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
How many pieces of those flow? Would you like your life to flow a different way? Well, you have to create the flow, and it starts with self-education.
Absolutely. And one of the things I think a lot of people confuse getting educated and getting excited are the same thing. Because the excitement is motivation. Something hits you and you're like, oh, I'm so excited about it. And excitement and motivation is an emotional reaction that doesn't really last. Mm-hmm. But the education of once you learn something, you that's the fuel that you really need. You need that backbone. You need that constant, I do this way, this time, and just be in that space.
Exactly.
Because that's the fuel that keeps you going. And it's funny, once you know, he said it, and I thought about how Ruby studies and she teaches her class. She is a student of her class. And she continues to hone her skills so that when she speaks about it, it comes from a place of education,
of experience. The most important part is that, say that word again. Experience.
And it's not that she's excited about just to be excited to put a battery in you. She's excited to educate you so you have that battery, that permanent fuel that runs you, so you get the education.
So I'm not putting the battery in anybody. What we do in our classes, we're going to use this proper word, and I like this because I'm part of my podcast feed. Ignite.
Okay.
It's igniting your flame. Something, and it stays on. You keep it lit.
Yeah.
I may ignite the excitement or the clarity or the hope that you'll be able. So in class, you're going to see hope happen in front of you. But then you walk away, like he said, you go to the class, you got excited, you went to the seminar, right? You got all excited. And then we went home, it didn't translate. Nothing happened. You're back to the energy is gone. Anybody go to that? They go to the webinar. One of the reasons why we meet weekly. Oh, thank you. One of the reasons why we meet weekly, why I invite y'all to every Wednesday, is because repetition creates permanency. And I like that. I like what Miss Shelby said last week. Practice makes permanent. Mm-hmm. And she's right. It doesn't need to make perfect. Whatever you practice, whether it's positive or negative, is going to make permanent.
It's going to stick.
So the minute you start shifting your practice, you permanently get a new product, new outcome. See, we all want these things, but my question is what are you doing about it daily? Are you studying in something in that area that you need? Some people want to they want to free themselves of their job. Is everything you doing right now in a learning pattern to do that? Some of y'all want to get more time with your family. Is everything you're doing right now
leading you to that?
Are you learning how to get there?
Is that the habit you're creating?
Are you learning to put steps in place for that? Some of us, we delude ourselves. Yeah, I'm doing that. I got a good job. That's not a habit of your freedom. But see, that I got a lot of money.
That's a habit of your mediocrity.
Money doesn't mean that you're not broke. And I don't mean broken. I mean broke. That your life is not broke.
There are doctors struggling to get to work week to week because they have so much value in what they went to school for, but they have no value in the bottom line.
Right. Money represent. Well, it says money. And I love it when he said it. I couldn't write it down because I was I was in getting something. Money value. Money. We got to watch this again, y'all. I'm trying to tell you because he was saying something about money. It says money runs to value, not speed. It doesn't care about speed.
No,
it cares about value. For us, it's like and quantity. No. How you get the best life is over time. How many of y'all want to live up your whole life in the next week? But you all want to make all the money you can in the next week. The fastest. You know what the problem with that is? You don't live fast. You don't live fast. Did that make any sense? I really got that.
Ability is what it is, what he's referring to.
That longevity. The world of it is what you being able to sustain for a long period of time. Financial literacy is not about how to get rich. It's about how to sustain in a wellness long.
Yeah. You literally have to, this is
I tell you.
For lack of a better term, Walter's a spoonful
Grand rising, everybody.
A spoonful of knowledge every day that you keep, you practice and repeat.
Can you imagine taking life-sustaining medicine once? You just take the whole bottle. That's what we're doing when we're running toward wealth, without being well.
You have to really get into the idea that the process is.
Yep.
A little bit every day. And
exactly.
I can't say it enough because I thought this was probably the most prevalent thing he said to us.
Yeah.
And, create a learning, the mindset. It's a habit. He said rhythm. And that was really cool. He said, create a rhythm. Do something the same time every day and don't let nothing else get in your way. Make that time sacred for you. This is when and one of the other things that I thought, and I think it slapped me. You know how someone slaps you in the ear and your ear starts ringing? He said, make sure the space that you're operating in is clean and clear for the purpose that you want to get there.
Speak to that space. Yeah. It tells your brain connects with what you create around it. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I've had classes where people have come in and you can hear their background, and you hear that they're watching a show. And I would ask that person if you're interested, if you have something more interested on. And I tell you this right now, I'll let you know, paid or unpaid class. I will tell people this: if you can't find the time to focus on your finances, then you don't need to be here because this is about people who are serious, people who are fed up. Yeah. This is a space where people who are fed up want to get answers as to how to do certain things out there. So one of the things is you will not acquire this. I had a young lady on one of our favorite friends, Miss Faye. When I say favorite friends, because Miss Faye is an amazing lover of the P2G network, and she has been so instrumental in helping us to just kind of push forward our general idea of what we really are. And so one of the things I discovered about Miss Faye is that she got a lot of irons in the fire. You know what I'm saying? And so what happened with that is that I noticed that I had to tell her, I said, Miss Faye, if you have another class to be on, and she got this, she got the world of it. I said, if you have another class to be on, I want you to go take that class. And then I want you to put us on the schedule separate from that class. Because it wasn't that she wasn't doing the same stuff, because she would be on one of her financial things and on her financial things. But she noticed that she didn't retain enough of both. Because when she would come back to class, she said, we did that in class? I said, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
You were there. Or at least she was there. So she thought she caught on. And she said, Ruby, I got this time now. I said, oh, you got time for this. She said, I always had time for this. I said, I know, but it doesn't actually stay. You have to focus.
When you're in two spaces at once, it doesn't
work.
And I know people say, oh, I can multitask. your ears and your brain doesn't multitask that way.
They don't work that way. Your mind needs to be, like I said, you need to plant one seed at a time. If you throw all your seeds on top of each other, God knows what you're gonna get.
You're gonna get a lot of runoff.
You ain't exactly. Something's not gonna survive.
Yeah,
and the goal is that we are, and you're also gonna overwhelm yourself. You're just we create senses of lack of accomplishment. And when you could be highly accomplished, you can absorb everything if you just prioritize what went where. Now, he talked about reading. I love it. He says everyone tries to try to do the big thing all at once. You're going to read half a book in a night, and then you're going to do absolutely nothing. You're not going to follow up. Why? Because you're overwhelmed.
And you don't have that time to give every night.
10 minutes. You got 10 minutes? One chapter, depending on how big the book is. 1 hour of time set aside to learn one thing. Not one thing tonight, one thing tomorrow, one thing tomorrow. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Don't worry about it.
Y'all get that? Can you dedicate? Because I'm trying to tell you something. It's hard for me to get y'all to understand savings in consistent increments.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't sit for 10 minutes with yourself a night, see, that's the part that has to shift. And that's actually the first part of our program. It's mindset. It's all mindset. People be like, I thought you was here for class to learn about money. Like, you can't learn about money if you all messed up.
Yes, you can't. And a lot of times when people sit with themselves, they're not sitting with themselves. They're daydreaming. They're off into la la land.
You're in the dream of what you want instead of in the steps of what it really takes to have it. See, I didn't understand that at first because I was like, I couldn't understand how, okay, I saved all this money. So I don't know how many of you guys bought our book, from the podcast space that we shared with everyone. We have the book. I'll put up the QR code for you all to share. But I wrote in my chapter, I share the story. I want to make sure that the story got out because I'm pretty sure I'm not unlike a lot of people. Other people are not unlike me who went through the whole, what I've gotten to this point in my life because I hit 40, about 42. And I realized I had not accomplished anything but helping everyone accomplish their goals.
Mm-hmm.
Mother and wife, that's all I ever did. I was an entrepreneur, but that was for the same purpose.
Very, very proud of that too.
Yeah, shut up. Anyway, I'm sorry. I always mess with him. All right, look, let me be really honest. For me, that was, and it's so weird because I remember when I was 16 and 20, I wanted to have a husband and a family. I was going to go to college. That was a no-brainer. I've always gone to school. I wasn't the kind of woman that just wanted a family. I believed in the whole process, go to college, get an education, get a great man, meet a man, have kids. But I really, really wanted kids. And I couldn't understand that. It's not like I didn't have lack for love, not in my family. To ask him. It's like in our family, lacking for love is almost impossible. You'd have to literally be like under a rock.
Pretty much.
They bomb you with love. You cannot hide. All right. So just to share with you all, that helped me to see that my values were in continuing to help support family. So for myself, and I learned this the hard way, I had to learn that I was doing so much that it almost killed me. My first story is that I almost died. 400 pounds from ages 25 all the way into my upper 30s, into my 30s. Not heart problems, but thank God it was just high blood pressure, right? These things don't happen overnight. They are habits that take place over time. The same way you shift your life, you also fall into a life. You can go both ways. Some of y'all are on the path where you're falling into life and you don't like the results.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I didn't like the results, I chose to study a new way.
It's something that they fall into it. They just, a lot of time, most people sit on the gray line or sit on the fence as it's called, and they wait to see which way the wind blows and then they go.
Okay, that's some people, but most of y'all are just accepting what comes. Like that's all there is. And how many times have we said it? I just don't know. I'm just not smart. I'm not literate. I'm not technically literate. I'm not good with math. How many times you say and speak, you speak your destiny without even putting up a fight? So today we are going to sit down. This is Mental Wellness Monday. This is not Mental Wellness Talk Monday. This is Mental Wellness Monday. So y'all gonna get over here.
Activated.
We gonna put on our big girl and big boy pennies and get Vicky on this. Today we are going to declare. Come on now. Y'all got it.
Come on, y'all got
I'm just getting y'all in the room. Today we're going to declare. Thank you. I needed that. We need to see what got you here. Today I declare, I have been created, and this is not your prayer. This is a declaration. And I want you to think this right here every time you think to say, I'm not good at, I don't know, I can't figure it out. I'm just, and even if you say, some people say to it, I'm just stupid like that. I never want you to ever have that to say. I want to give you something else to say. Your declaration was, I was created for greatness. I was created with the ability to learn anything. I am not only smart, but I'm kind of cunning. Say that. I'm not only smart, but I'm kind of cunning. I am the ish. You ain't got to say the word. I am the ish. And I will, for whatever your passion is, I need you to say this out loud. I am the king, the queen, or the head of whatever that thing is. Say it.
Mm-hmm.
Say it out loud and say it right now.
Say it to yourself.
Because I am the king, and I am the queen and the king of digital financial literacy.
Go ahead.
I am the creator of my beautiful, bright future. I am in alignment with creation at all times. No matter what it looks like to you, I'm always on top. Pick any of that to say, but you will never say you are not again. Y'all got that? I hope we here in this space. Did you get it?
Claim the gratitude.
Pick everything. I am the ish. I am this. I am the that, but I am not a not. You have been built. If a person without arms and legs can learn to sing, can learn to write, can learn computers and to build with their minds, why are you stopping with all capacity? What is holding you back? And why are you now the one that's in the obstacle in your way? You will fight the world, but beat you down inside. Stop.
Wow, that's a call for foundation, y'all. That is a call for foundation.
I can't. So we only do this for 1 hour. I love you, babies. I love y'all. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring y'all in. We're gonna invite you to come in. Our next meetup is going to be on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, yep.
Now, we do breakfast at the Thomases on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then we're going to be in our classroom setting, which is, actually, it's not a classroom because you got me thinking of class. Guys, I have classes. Those are paid. We get together when we get busy, but we got to put foundation together on Wednesday nights. We come together to have the first conversation about something. Some of y'all don't know. You haven't figured yourselves out. So to jump into class would be crazy. To pay for something, God help you, right?
It would be, but we
need to be in class. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put this up. And if you are on stereo and you can't see what I'm putting up, don't worry. You just go to the P2G networks, go straight to where you see the pictures. Scroll down a little, you'll see the pictures. And under every picture is a link. If you see one that says it costs this much, click over to the next one that says free Wednesday or free Saturday.
Whichever.
Okay. So I don't want anybody going, well, I went there and nothing happened. I'm like, okay, well,
did you scroll down and hit the link?
Yeah. I just let folks know right now that's the old site. For people who, can I come out here? Wait. Okay. So I'm excited. I forgot what today was. It's Monday. And I'm getting crazy. Don't think I'm crazy. Hang out with us. So if you have been on any of our platforms or signed up for the website, and if you haven't, don't worry. You can go to the website and you can put yourself in. You'll be in the next email. I promise. Go to the website, use the bot or hit the about us or the contact us and put your information in and say, hey, I would like to join the free website. We have a new web portal. It is a complete university.
Yay.
And we are in phase 1. Phase one is where we meet. You come in and you create our very own network. We are there too. So the first month of T2G's new website rollout, you are going to get an invitation in your email. If you've submitted your email already to get your invitation, or if you've submitted your email to P2G at any time, you will look in that email later today, probably about noon. Don't let it go too long because some of y'all just go under all your mail. Look for P2G Networks. Is it P2G Networks Global email to send you an invitation to join us. And when I say join us, not a new social media link, nothing. We have created our very own community so that we can learn and grow and build together. You will be able to do things you never thought, and you'll be able to customize your customize your actual page.
And there is going to be a step-by-step of how to do it if you need some extra help in doing so.
So respond to the email. You got to do that now because this is phase one. Nothing is open. You can't see anything. Okay. So don't get upset at us. Phase one is everyone comes home first. So we're bringing everyone home. We're joining the community, saying hello. We're still connecting on the events that are happening there. So you'll be able to continue to come to the free events for the month. And you'll even be able to get some classes because we do have some things. So we're putting up Wednesday. This flyer is Wednesday's flyer, and you come and it has a Zoom link. You can join us anytime after 8 o'clock. We'll be on and we will be working it out. Work it out Wednesday rolls right into the evening where we come together and make it happen.
And we share the possibilities that are available to you.
With some examples, because I know some folks, y'all are interested in some things technologically that's going on. Some of y'all like AI. Some of y'all want to get into some things. Some of y'all have businesses and y'all need some new tech skills. Come have a conversation. We're talking about things like crypto, AI, building in the metaverse, Web3, making things come together, new skills to actually create small businesses for yourself from home, how to upgrade your skills using AI to enhance your job opportunities. The whole thing, these conversations lead to real classes and workshops, and I'm really excited for what we put together for you. So come on out to the 2 possible futures. You choose them. Now so we go to do Wednesday, we meet again on Saturday. Saturday evening at 7 p.m. It never fails. You cannot build in a space that you cannot protect what you have. We don't know sometimes that we don't own anything, but you do get it when you got to pay the taxes on a house that you already paid off, or your car needs to get paid. You got to pay, what is it?
Insurance.
You got to keep insurance up. Now we go, that makes sense, right? Maintenance. And wait, what's the other thing you have to get? Re-register.
On a regular basis.
Don't register your car, what they gonna do?
You can't drive it.
How you can't drive your stuff if you don't get up some more money every quarter?
No, every year.
Oh, I got to give someone money every year to own my stuff, or I can't put it on the road.
You register your car every 2 years in New York.
Oh, okay.
Other states are every year, and then you have to get an inspection every year. That they charge you an additional $37.
We ain't even gonna talk about that racket. Anyway.
And that's a racket, really.
Anyway, make sure you come to find out how to get the most out of this beautiful experience as a so-called citizen. Because if you're a citizen, that's your experience. If you understand how to really run your rights, or what really are your rights, you have a new conversation. Like Jim Rohn said, you got to know what to study, not just be studying something.
True.
Now, live classes are running every Sunday, always on Sunday. This is now a 7 p.m. course. That's not the picture. So I'm going to go grab you the right flyer. I want to make sure. But Sunday's classes, so we only do paid classes on Sunday for now. We do have it so it's constant and it's consistent. We're going to be putting out a new link for you guys to be able to try that out. But currently, it's still running. It is a 4-week program every Sunday. We are in now. I'll just read the flyer, but we're about to change this. The flyer that we read still has some accurate information. We are going to start with growing small amounts and profiting. That's not something we're going to talk about. That's something we're going to do. Yep. So when you come to class, I don't care if it's $5. You be ready with your tablet, your phone, whatever, even your desktop. Be ready to open up a new account or register a new product, a new app for free. By the way, all this is free. Okay. You pay for your class. Everything else should be either free or low price if you want to do it. That's up to you.
So your first one, the account that you open is your account. It's not a P2G account.
And we don't own the websites that you're going to get them from. We're going to show you how to use the platforms to create your profit. And we're also going to show you how the platforms make profit. Because if you don't, and let me just put this out here for you. You want to know how something's not a scam or a Ponzi scheme or MLM that's going to die? Ask them how they make their money. We're going to teach you how to do the math to make the decision whether or not you feel this is going to make some money. This is not random investing. We're not doing trading. Currently, we're not doing trading. I teach you trading mostly so that you learn the platform. Right. So that's what we do. We are a foundational building program.
We teach you how to read the chart so it makes sense.
Anybody been to these extreme of beautiful classes and trading this, that, and the other, and it's just blown you away to where you're like, I can't get that. But you already paid and you still paying on a regular.
And that's the idea.
Well, no, I don't want to. Okay, first of all, never put that out there.
No, when I say
the idea that they create in their program.
No,
what you want to do is understand that it's going to blow you away because you haven't been taught a foundation. You understand what I'm saying? Sundays are 7 p.m. Sundays are only 7 p.m. The flyer has the old one. This is the old information. So if you've seen 5 to 7, it is 7 p.m.
7 o'clock.
By the way, the link will give you the time. It's 7 p.m. The link will give you the time. So when you click the link, it'll say, hey, you'll get the 7 o'clock class Sunday. Be on P2G. Look in your email for your class link.
If you're on Clapper or Stereo and you want to get the information, tap my head and you can see right to the spot or hit the link above.
We'll send you the link. It's not a problem directly. But I want you to know that I don't play that. Every week we get fancy. So the first week, you're going to grow your money and let it roll for a week. Let it roll and grow. You're going to watch it. You're going to be moving whatever I tell you. Not when I tell you, but I'm going to tell you. Stick with the parameters you create in our first class. Then we move to bankroll. We're going to learn how to bankroll, take our little money that we built up and bankroll projects that give passive income. Y'all get that? Because we got to start recognizing if you don't get paid while you sleep, you're going to work till you die. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to change that, right? This is what happens.
That's the game.
Then we go to next week. See what we're talking about. Consistency. Then because you paid for this already. Once you pay, all this is done. All you got to do is show up and get to work.
Show up and do the work.
That's it. Once you pay for this, by the way, you said, Miss Ruby, I don't have $100. If you got 20, 35 or 25, you can get started because we have a payment plan. You can go do Klarna or whatever. Not a problem. But get started. The goal is to start getting things moving. Then we take and we double dip. I love it. Double dip is week 3 is double dipping. You double dip on profit making. I ain't playing.
Yeah,
and week 4, we grow safe long-term projects like the banks. Okay. You actively build your portfolio week to week.
You know what I like about this program, and because we talked about what you were planning to do.
Yeah.
It opens you up to so many different avenues to move. You don't have to use everything that we give you, but you will use everything that we give you, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah. You're not going to sit back and watch all this interest building accounts that cost pennies to get into. Guys, P2G stands for pennies to gold. I hold that as a fact, not a theory. I show you how to turn your pennies into gold physically, because we also talk about physical gold and silver. We talk about everything across the board of financial building, asset building from small amounts, knowing what the value of even a penny is, because it is the foundation of millions. And remember that. And billions, every one of them starts with 1 penny. And you all have that. So how do you claim broke?
Check your pocket, check your couch,
Okay.
Check your cup and holder.
We getting over time. I love you guys, but I also have
Okay.
to put it out. We have a message that has to come out. We're hitting the streets.
Yes.
So I told you guys, P2G, we definitely are involved with community. This year, if you are in the Harlem area or you're in the New York area, you need to come out. We have 2 huge events. One is the 12th of September, which I'm so proud of this organization. They are amazing.
We all really matter.
Yes. The Warm program is a program that we participate in every year, every summer. We've actually been out on the streets once this summer, and they have another event coming up in September. They had We All Really Matter is a organization for women who need respite from domestic violence. Why can't I see this? I can't see the tab. You see it?
Did you close that one?
No, I didn't. No, it's okay. Uh-oh. Okay, give me one moment. It seems like we're having trouble with a couple of things. It's interesting that it's not doing this.
Put the other one in first.
Yeah, I guess it's doing the video tabs. Give me one moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you, I guess, the first one here. So let's do this. I got that. I love this young lady. She is amazing.
It's Stephanie McGraw.
Yeah, Stephanie McGraw, the creator. Give me one moment. As soon as we share it, we'll be able to see it. There we go. So we participate, and this is actually the wrong video. It's the wrong one up. Oh my goodness, it did not do what it's supposed to do. Oh, okay. Well, that explains why. And stop sharing the tab. Guys, I'm having craziness with this technology today. This is an event that takes place every year. Got it. Share with audio. We're good now. There you go. This is the Warm organization, and warm.org, I should say weallreallymatter.org is an organization that has been working with in and around. Started in Harlem with Stephanie McGraw, who has gone through quite a bit herself to get herself and the people around her into safe space. Domestic violence in general, and people don't seem to understand how gun violence. They finally made the connection recently how gun violence in general leads to domestic. It's part of domestic violence. And whereas it went so much further from being just a women's problem to a family's problem, to a community problem, that she became the first outlet for support in this area for Harlem, to where the police, and I remember going to a graduation for their group, and I found out that, she was the first number anyone could call,
right? Because
the domestic violence department and the police had nowhere to take the women when they removed them. So she and her organization connected with the police department and found safe spaces to put these women in, created resources. She constantly fundraises and creates safe spaces and healing organs. She has a complete healing organization. And I really, really love the fact that we get to work with them and we get to, promote on the streets our education, because once you've healed yourself, it's time for growth.
Yes, it is.
It's time for stability. See, why P2G is so important to be involved is because a lot of what happens in our communities in domestic violence stems from lack of financial literacy, a lack of what we teach and train people, the community that we build, the love that we connect with each other in, the trust that we actually are building. When people can trust themselves, they don't have to be feared. They don't have to fear others.
Absolutely. Very true statement. One of the biggest segues that you realize with violence is the fact that it affects families so deeply, because it causes the most amount of stress, because we're so concerned with survival. We don't realize that the reason we're not surviving is only because we don't understand what our money is doing for us, and we don't know how to use it effectively. So we struggle and it causes fight and dissension between family members. Spouses get into it, and it's because it's the most stressful thing in a relationship. One of the most stressful things in a relationship.
And so we're going to put up a video. We'll put up the video for Miss McGraw, because she's been on the news. She's been doing this for well over a decade, probably coming into 2 decades now. And this is who she
is bringing love to the block, because we know only love can conquer hate.
There's a movement happening in New York City, a movement to knock down the building blocks of crime. They call this Love on the Block, and it's attracted several hundred people and families, including a handful of New York State politicians who showed up to throw their support behind this positive event.
You will be surprised of the children who need help.
A number of proactive community organizations took part in the day's festivities, led by the not-for-profit WARM, which stands for We All Really Matter.
So today we stand against violence and let our community know that they can come out. They can have laughter and freedom and feel safe to talk with their neighbors in light of all the violence that's been happening here.
The mission of this event is to try to encourage the entire community to work towards preventing violence of all types, whether that be gang violence, gun violence, domestic violence, or any other type. The leaders here believe a lot of it is actually all connected. For instance, one of the organizations insists you can't separate gun violence from domestic violence. Sadly, we saw that play out last week when a 20-year-old mother was shot and killed by her ex-boyfriend while she was pushing their baby in a stroller, according to the NYPD.
There's been a really tragic increase in gun violence in New York City and across the country since the pandemic. And the pandemic seems to have brought out a lot of stressors, and people are isolated.
The people here are passionate about the need to change how bad things have gotten in some places.
As a community as a whole, that we are going to be coming together to make sure that we reduce this by hopefully uplifting the fact of employment for our young people, hopefully providing safe spaces for everyone.
All right. And before we pull into that, so we will be on the streets of New York on 129th Street. Is it?
Yeah,
129th. Yeah. Okay, 129th on the west side. We will be coming into 129th between 7th and 8th Avenues on the 12th of September. And P2G will be there doing our crypto gaming winning and learning session that we do where we are bringing amazing opportunities for education and even physical crypto for people to earn and get crypto. There's always a sweet treat and some really cool gifts and some cool merch to get on the streets. But we do this. And so we get an opportunity to do this at WARM one more time. And we're so grateful to Stephanie for the work that she's doing and just will support in any way. One of my dreams is to work with the women in the program. So to create this program. So we are building the blocks to do that currently with our website, the new website, so that small businesses now have we don't need it to be janky. We need to come professionally. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys are out here, come on out. Come on out. We ain't afraid. Y'all know what I'm saying? We ain't afraid of nobody. We gonna come out and not even the weather, because we have been blown away.
Oh man, you couldn't believe it.
But you know what?
It was fun.
We never stop.
Fun.
Okay. So with that, I want to say thank you all for being with us, but don't leave yet. Told you we got 2 events. One more little wrap up. Every year there is an African Day parade in Harlem, and people come from all over. On September 19th and September 20th, on the weekend of September 20th, there will be a street fair, which will be held in the plaza at the State Building on 125th Street.
Absolutely.
And there'll be vendors, there'll be food, there'll be information, business, dancing, entertainment, you name it. And there will be P2G bringing the street games. We are so excited to be able to be a part of this. You got to come on out. Your neighbors, get your neighbors, bring the kids. This is the Saturday, the 19th. We will be on the street. And following day, we will be out there enjoying
the parade.
The parade. We will not be on the float this year, although one of my my co-partners was like, yo, we could get a parade. I said, not this year. Not this year. Unfortunately, Mr. Thomas will not be attending. He'll be able to help support us getting things ready and preparing, but he will be finally having his surgery and getting his body and taking care of his physical health. So his mental health and everything else is on point. Right, Mr. T?
Yeah, baby.
I can't wait.
She's trying to lock me in the house. I'm trying to get out there.
Yeah, he ain't going out there.
I'm trying to hobble out there. She's like,
He needs to take his time to get his health together. But I am so looking forward to it. So for anyone who is listening in the Harlem area, we are also hiring. We are hiring 2 supports for that day. We have lots of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun that day. We have a lot of stuff to do, a lot of giveaways, and you guys get to see P2G. We'll be going live. We'll be on this channel live that day. So I look forward to seeing you all there, and you'll be able to click a link and join us, and we'll promote the link so you guys can sign up ahead of time.
I'll be ready.
We gotta get this popping because I'm gonna have a lot of fun.
Run the parade.
Yeah, hold on a second because we gotta run.
I'm gonna be there.
So this is what we're gonna be a part of. There we go.
Wake up and rise, open your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases.